All right, so thoughts, clarifications, questions, ahas, breakthroughs that you had today. What stood out for you? Oh, and hang on, I need to allow you guys to unmute yourself. Allow participants to unmute yourself. There you go. Now you can unmute yourself.
I'm happy to jump into the awkward silence if nobody else wants to.
Thanks, Christine. I love it.
Okay, big aha is doing what brings me enjoyment and not forcing. Because I have been forcing for the last year and I am fighting burnout. And you feel like you have to force because that's what you have to do to get clients, right?
Yeah, it's what you get told.
Yeah, it is what you get told by your very expensive business coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to take up all of the room. If I see Sharon has unmuted, let her go next, and then I'll have questions after.
Let me just kind of respond.
Oh, no, you can go.
Oh, okay. Well, I do want to kind of like respond to what you said, Christina, there, because that's so common. And sadly, it's very common from sometimes when we hire people, when we've said we've paid them for something, is that a lot of times that's where it can come from, because people who are selling some things, and this is good to have this perspective as somebody who is selling something. You guys are all coaches selling too, is we want to make sure that we are not coming across as my way is the right way, and if you do this, it will work. And a lot of coaches do, because it's what they've experienced. It's why they've they're selling an answer, and they're saying, if you want this, do it my way, it'll work. But sometimes, and so they're having to prove themselves, because they're saying, I told you this was going to work. We're going to make it work. We're going to push through until this works so that I wasn't wrong because I know it works. And they're not doing it in a way that is meant to be harmful in any way, because they believe that. They've come from a place of, this worked for me, I know it can work. But what's not taken into consideration a lot of the time is the differences in people. The differences in schedules, the differences in personalities, the differences in skills, the differences in natural abilities. Like for me, my whole program, my whole marketing system, everything in my six-figure client finding system is based around the fact that I'm a teacher. I was a high school teacher. My dad was a teacher. My sister's a teacher. Like, it's just in my blood. It's who I am. And when I was doing systems and I was following, coaches and people who were telling me, when I was doing stuff that was, like you said it in the original chat, like posting on social media 24/7, and you have to have things out all the time. And I was like, I have to create graphics and I got to come up with that. And I would get so stressed out because that's not who I was. But I can click a button and go live in a flash. Right. And so for some people, that's a real stress for them, going live. For me, that's who I am. I love teaching. I love taking complex info and like making it simple. And so when we are hiring somebody who has said, this is the way to get this done, sometimes you're going to feel that forcing through, because it's also them saying, but it does work. I believe it. I know it. And they have good intentions, but we as the entrepreneur need to step back and go, okay, wait, how can I tweak this for me? How can I bring this to my world? And it took me a long time to get there too. I've been coaching for over 20 years now. And it took me until about 4 years ago, when I created the Breakthrough with Balance Academy, to really put the premise of my program behind the personalization for each individual. And it took me that long to figure that out too. So they're not meaning to do it maliciously in any sense.
No. Yeah. It's just a journey as to figure out, what are the effective actions that will actually move me forward? Because I know the things that light me up and that I enjoy, and I can play in Canva all day, but it's not getting me clients, right? So I'm looking forward to the rest of this week as we figure out how to bring that into our world.
Yes, because you can absolutely use that skill in Canva to get your messaging across, to attract the clients that it's going to be part of your six-figure flow. So absolutely. And those are the pieces, like, as you're digging into this today, really like look for those things. What do I love doing? What's really enjoyable? And that's why I gave you guys that activity assessor. That's why one of my first programs that a lot of our clients do is the Balance Project. It's part of all my programs. All of the programs people get from me, I give them the Balance Project, because it's one of the pieces. Like, we have to identify, like, what do I love to do? What is me? What does work? And then we take all the parts of the client finding path and we pick a piece in each of them that matches who you are. And that's where flow comes from. So yeah, dig into what you like as well as what you don't like. Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
hats off to you for knowing how to do Canva.
What was that, Sharon?
Oh, I said hats off to her for knowing how to do Canva. I can do
Yeah.
very, very basic. That's it.
Right. So everybody's got different skills. Everybody's got different talents. So yeah, absolutely. We want to know
Need to
like
hire somebody.
who are we? Because everybody's different. And thank God we're all different because there's different people out there who need us, right? Some people are going to listen to the first 5 minutes of my workshops and be like, oh, and they're out, and that's okay. And I'm like, bye-bye, because I'm not their coach. So we all want to be different. We all want to figure out really and sit in who we are so that we're not trying to be authentic. We just are. And then the right will be attracted. Yeah, good, good.
So I just like we're not looking to serve loads of people. We want specific, right? And so in my business, we've been told, just go out there, because, well, there is two different sides to it. You got the sales side, you have your recruiting side, right? And my passion is kind of on both dependent, but my passion is recruiting side, not not necessarily just because it's recruiting, but because I think that's where this business could give people the most advantages in their life if they need the income, because it's really great income if you work the business.
Right, right.
So that's my thing. Is my dream person is somebody who really has a need for income, who doesn't want to have to depend on someone else. And for me, that is like, because of the things that I went through, my passion comes from thinking I had to depend on a man, right?
Right.
It could be something different for someone else. But someone who doesn't want to depend on anybody for their income and wants to use that income to change their life or their family's life. Because it can very well be done if you do the work.
So it sounds like you have really honed in on who your dream person is, like simplifying that people, the first one we talked about, the people.
Yes.
And
that
that's
really
great.
stood out.
And I love that you are in the network marketing world. It is something that gets mushed. Is my person is somebody who loves the product and then wants a business. And
Right.
When we are moving forward through the next couple pieces of this that we're going to be doing together, you want to, when you're building your six-figure client finding system, for those of you in the network marketing world, your product path and your opportunity path completely separate. Separate, because otherwise what we are doing is we're meshing a path of somebody started wanting this and then we're trying to convince them of this over here, and we don't want to do that. So I love that you're separating that out and also identifying which piece is the most prominent in terms of your desire of where you want to make a change for someone, and that would be the one to really focus on right now then, because if whatever we're building in our businesses, whether we're, a coach who does health, or whether we are somebody who, helps people build amazing websites and has that marketing piece out of there, like I was talking about with Sonia, or whether you're a holistic sex coach like Kelly Noel was, or whether you are selling jewelry or whatever it is, when we are doing the piece of it that we really see a change in people and we're like, oh my gosh, come work with me because I can change your world. I can rock your world for the good. That's when we're going to have that ability to have that rock star system, because they'll feel it from us. And so it really is about identifying where our passions are, where our love is, and not just doing what we feel we should do.
How do you find, and you mind me going through this, how do you, because a lot of people say that, right? As I'm sure you know, a lot of people say, yeah, I need that, but they don't want to do the work. So how do you determine the difference?
Good. So a lot of it comes in with, this is a great question, and this actually gets into one of the pieces I'll be talking about tomorrow, is when you're originally finding people, but we can do a little bit of it now because it's a really important question. It's about, first of all, for us as the entrepreneur, identifying who is our dream prospect and knowing that, and being able to not only know who we want to work with, but being able to verbalize it. Verbalize it in a way that they're like, oh, that's me, that they self-identify with it. So it's not expert language. This is something I work on messaging a ton with our clients, because it's we can get very much in our expert head.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do it too. We want to make sure that anything that is outward, especially in the finding, when we're like first trying to connect with people who we've never met before, they've never met us, is the languaging, the messaging has to be words that they are using, that they are identifying. And we've got to meet them with what they already think they need. We can't say, for example, well, let me take the example. One of our clients, wonderful, amazing person who's got an incredible program. Her thing, how was it originally? It was like holistic mindset reset, which is like, okay, but I even had to ask, tell me what that is.
Mhm.
Tell me where that would come from. What does that mean for me? And until we dug into getting it to the point that her dream clients were able to say, oh my gosh, that's what I was telling my girlfriend over a glass of wine the other night that I needed. If we talk about it on the expert language side of things, it won't connect with people. We need to talk about it where they are, what they're thinking, what they're looking for. So to come back to your question, Sharon, with the like, how do we find these people who don't just want to start a business and never do anything, but who really want something? That comes from our messaging right out of the get-go. So if you noticed, if you you can maybe look back at your emails, look back at the post that I did for this workshop, for this 3-part series that I'm doing, everything was, are you a rockstar coach? Do you believe you have something powerful? Do you know you can change lives? Do you understand it's going to take work? Can you, like, are you ready to step up and do what it takes to, put together a system that's going to take a lot of effort? Like I wasn't hiding that, to have
Right.
a 6-figure client finding system. It's not going to be a snap of a finger and we're going to have it in 3 days together, right? Like I'm going
What? No, not really.
yeah, sorry. But so to put that forward right away in your attraction pieces, it helps filter. It's a filtration process is what it is. And so there's 2 parts to it then to kind of summarize that. Is one is really connecting with how they're thinking, what they're looking for, what they're wanting, what they're voicing that they need before they've even met you. And then the piece of now defining and having them self-identify. Oh, that is me. Yes, that's me. Okay, this is what I'm going to need to do. Okay, I'm ready to step up for this. And so you're actually filtering them before you even start with them. And that's where really powerful messaging can do a great job, because then when when you see these people who are sharing all their stats on social media and they're like, I convert 50% of the people that I talk to. It's not because there's some magician in sales. It's because their filtration process at the beginning is attracting the right people to them. So the people
Right.
coming to them are like, I'm ready to make this happen. The question is it now or not?
And how do you attract the people that you're kind of intimidated? That's the thing.
So that's where that piece comes in, and we will get into this over the next couple of days.
Okay.
The first step I would say is really define your person, because it's really difficult to speak to that specific person if we're trying to serve everybody. That's what I was meaning today when I was saying if we're trying to serve everybody, we're going to end up serving no one. Because if we are just, hey, I help with, like, for me, I can't just say, hey, I'm a business coach, I'll help you make more money. Me and 7,000 other people, right? So we have to be really specific so that our people can self-identify and also go, she's talking to me. Oh, life's important to her. Oh, she works her schedule around kids. Oh my gosh, she's been able to do this with a calendar that's nuts. Or, oh, she trains people in a way that they're not just finding new leads, but that they're actually getting a system to walk those leads through to becoming long-term clients. Oh, she's somebody who looks for long-term clients, not a one-time sale. Like all these things that are in my messaging, it's purposeful. It's very purposeful. And so that's where the first step of it is identifying for you who is your person as specifically as possible. And
So
then
like go into lots of detail, or you just want it like
lots of detail. The more details
advice?
you get, the better.
Okay. Okay.
And even more so, more detail on what's the problem you solve, as specific as possible. Like, I'm
Okay.
not just going to make you look younger. No. We're going to talk about, like, one of my clients has gone from I help anybody who needs skincare to I want to work with the corporate women who want to look 30 forever because they know that the power in the boardroom also comes partially from how they present themselves.
Oh, I need that. Can I copy that?
Yeah. Can you see the difference in those messaging? Like,
Yes.
like I help people who are looking for good, quick skincare to I help people who want to look 30 forever because they're corporate women who know that their presence and how they appear
It matters, yeah.
difference. And so that messaging, now she's getting people popping up all the time. So we worked on that. We figured that out together and now she's like, it's going, it's flowing. So
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah, that's the difference of really defining who your person is, but also defining the problem as specifically as possible. That's where the power of that filtration system will come in. Yeah, great question. Thank you.
I love that you're speaking to the desire.
Yes.
I know that we're running out of time here, but I noticed that I'm really good at defining the pain point. These are all the things you hate about your life. And what happens is I end up attracting people who are angry and who are freebie seekers and who don't actually want to move out of it. You know what I mean? They just want to have an ear for their anger. And so shifting that into that desire-based marketing where it's like, wouldn't it be great if, and are you someone who's ready for, I think is really powerful.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, and I can show you that if you, let's go back to my slides that I started the day with. Where are they? If you noticed, I started with the outcome. So first of all, the whole invite to this event is based on the result that they want to get. It's not, let's get out of the situation, because you're right, people will sit in the problem. And if you've got people who sit in the problem, that can be, you definitely want to know pain point. I call them pain points and viewpoints. You want to be able to talk pain points, but you also want to focus on viewpoints because you want people who are ready to do the work. You want people who are ready to invest their time and their energy in the actual movement. And any change is never easy. And we don't want people expecting easy. We want people who want simple way to get to the result. So if you notice, even my title is about the result, right? And then I started out with who is the person. I started out with the positive characteristics. They believe they have something special. They're ready to claim their rock star status. They're ready to show up loud and proud like this. You can see that, like, who I'm calling out is the people who are like, I want to do something about this. Yes, right there, willing to do the work.
Yeah, and not afraid to come out of their comfort zone.
What was that?
And not afraid to come out of their comfort zone.
Yes, exactly.
A lot of people that.
Yeah, willing to do the work to keep your audience dancing to your music long enough. Like, that word is in there purposefully to say, hey, this is not going to be a get rich quick scheme. Like, it's got some process behind it. And then it's not just about finding a bunch of new leads. And then I'm calling out some of the things that people just think, well, I just need more leads. Like, that's an objection. I just need more leads. It's what about what you do after you find them that gets them wanting. There's another really key word, wanting to become clients. You want your people wanting to become clients. And so these are some of the things that I want in the head of the people that I want to work with, because I don't want them coming into my programs expecting things are going to change in 2 hours. It's going to take a process. It's going to take some energy, but I also want them coming in ready for that, knowing that it's possible. Like, that's that you believe in yourself. Where was it? And you believe in yourself, you've got something, like, this is going to be worth the work because it's there for you. And then I go even deeper. You have an expertise, you can change lives. You love connecting with clients. Like, I don't want somebody who hates talking to people. There are people who can do great programs and be millionaires online that are hermits and don't want to talk with people. That's not my people. My people are coaches. They're teachers. They like interaction. So can you see how I'm, like, calling out my person?
Yeah.
In a way, positive, proactive, forward-moving people. But then I'm also mentioning, here's the pain points. But if you notice, I bring them after. I compliment, I bring it forward. I'm looking for those who are ready to step up. And then I say, but maybe your flow of clients isn't where you want it to be yet. and you'd love to redirect more of your time to coaching and teaching. Like, I would love to do nothing but coach and teach 24/7. Like, I love it. Maybe not 24/7. I do enjoy my family, but in my business, I would love to spend all my time doing that. So that's who I am. And so that's who I'm really going to connect with. So I call that out. I don't want to spend a lot of time searching for my clients. I want a system that does it for me, right? Getting new clients can feel taxing or challenging, like, oh, that drains me, right? So I'm calling out people who are similar to me. You want to increase the percentage of leads who become your clients. I don't want to have to get 2,000 leads to get 2 new clients. No, my workshops are always small, purposefully, because I want to talk to people like this, because that's what I enjoy. So you can see in this call out, I started with the positive, proactive, ready to move people. Kind of brought up hey, it's not this, it's going to be this. Like, it's not just about getting new leads. I can go give you a phone book. It's not going to progress you. Right. And then I called out who they are and then also the problems that they have. But I did it after, once they've kind of stepped up to say, here it is. And then I did my story. And that's to say, like, I get it. I've been there. Like, I know it's not easy. And so identifying that. So that, like, the way that that's presented at the beginning to give you a little insight as a fellow coach, somebody who's leading, like, that's how you can pull those people out without just having to say, if you're not going to do anything, don't bother.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Janelle put something in the chat.
Oh, yay. Good. I was just going to ask if you had anything.
She can't.
I'm the opposite. My dream client is someone who wants to feel their best with our products, but in order to grow in this company, I need to add team members. Oh, okay. So you're obviously in the direct sales world as well. So can I tell you, if you have a product and it's presented and packaged properly, you can do a 6-figure business with that. And here is the difference of what you will hear generally coached in the network marketing world is most companies, whether you're talking jewelry, whether you're talking skincare, whether you're talking health products, whatever you're talking is, they have a ton of products and they're like, promote them all. Become a specialist. Become a specialist. What I really encourage when I start working with somebody in network marketing that wants to focus on the sales side of things is package up a problem solver. That you become a specialist of one problem that you are really gifted at fixing, and it's because you've put together the solution for it. And so the clients that I work with, they're not selling $20 here and $30 there and $50 there. They're selling 400, 500, 1,200, 500, 1,200, 400, because their 3 choices or their pieces are and it's all based on one problem that they sell. And so they sell the full solution. Like going into a doctor, they're like, oh, you have a broken bone. You need physio. You're going to need to do this cast. You're going to need to rest. They tell you the full package of how you need to do it. And then you say, wait, I live in the boonies and I can't get to a physio. Then they adjust it. And they're like, all right, do these exercises at home instead. And so that's the reason for the options. But what you want to come in is a specialist who solves a problem that you are an expert at. And the people who have that thing that they're wanting to solve and or let's get away from the problem. Like you said, it's outcome focused, is what's the result? What's the finish line? What's the final piece of it? This is what this package does. Oh my goodness. How happy are you going to be to have this all done for you already? You don't have to do all the work at the piecing together. And they're like, yes, please. And then once that is set up into a system that you have that flow coming through, you now don't have to package up 30 different products or figure out what, Annie asked for versus Sue asked for versus whatever, because you're selling this thing that it goes out the same way all the time. And it's just, you're moving and you can work with more people at that point without the stress of the more people, right? Whereas if the companies in the network marketing world, their job is to promote everything so that somebody can find something. Okay. But my suggestion for you as a specialist is that you want to make sure you're a specialist in something, not I'm going to serve everything. Okay. And that can make the biggest difference. Thanks, Christina. I see she had to pop off. We do need to wrap up as well. We're at the end of our time. So those of you who are on live, any last questions, comments, or thoughts, or anything you want to clarify before we sign off?
How can I just become a coach like you instead of selling all the stuff?
Well, my path was a lot of mess ups and finally going, oh my gosh, I figured it out. I got to help other people with this too. That's how I became a coach. So yeah, absolutely. And it's a process. It's a process, but it's a process you can move through a lot faster when you have a system to go through. That's what we do in one of our programs, is help people become really powerful coaches.
Excited about it. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you for that. Thank you. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you in part 2. Don't forget to go to the backstage area to get those sheets. I'll go in and actually pop those in now so you can get them right away. The activity assessor, and then go to, once you finish the activity assessor, do the little post in Facebook so I know you're there and participating.